No, car 52.
Field will get the 1 to go signal this time by. Heat race number 2. And a lot of people pinning the 41 car as one of the championship favorites here this season. Tyler Chapman, so strong most of the year last year. Fell just short of the title to George Bissett Jr., who has moved on to run in SK Modifieds and Open Modifieds this season. Megan Fuller got her first win in August of last year.
Yes, she did.
One of the most popular drivers in this division. Sammy Anderson, also in this heat race, car number 21, has come close to getting her first win, was on the podium late last year to wrap up 2023. Here they come off of turn 4, looking for the green.
With the snap of a wrist, the green is out. One car develops a stutter step, and that is, of course, the 98 of Norm Sears, trying to get that car in gear. While that's been happening, Tyler Chapman runs away and hides down the backstretch. Meanwhile, Paula Corey setting in second, trying to hold on there impressively, 3 wide for the 4th position.
Sammy Anderson right in the middle of that battle as they go back to turn number 1. Megan Fuller also goes to the outside of the next row as they are really stacked up. Dean Lambros, Casey Vogt, all in that pack of traffic behind the 55 of Paula Kari. From second on back, Stephen Chapman, no surprise, that 41 beginning to tiptoe away at the front.
As that car's tiptoeing away at the front, Paula Root is starting to reel in on the back bumper of Paula Kari. Root setting in that 3rd position. Behind him, Dean Lampros, driving one of the Joey Farina race cars and looking pretty racy with that car as well. Car 21 still there. Sammy Anderson, but a side-by-side battle between Megan Fuller and Casey Vogt is directly behind them.
Casey Vogt hangs on to that spot for now, just in front of Megan Fuller. Lambros goes to the inside for position number 3, and Akari, who backslides to 4th. As Paula Root continues to lead that
trouble
race.
now. We've got 2 cars coming together at a ton. Right in.
Now Sammy Anderson being one of them in the 21. And
second car looks like it is
the 55 of Akari.
Yep, and those 2 cars came together. Akari apparently is able or attempting to pull away. Sammy Anderson with that number 21. Tough break for her. She was running very strong. As the safety services crew goes to assist. Akari Motor Sales, number 55. Jimmy Fuller has been working with this team impressively to try to get him dialed in. Jimmy, of course, part of the Racing Fuller family, and has been the crew chief on a lot of successful drivers over the years here at Stafford, including Woody Pitcat, Kerry Malone in the old days of SK Modified Racing, just to name a few. He was involved with Bob Charland. Let's take a look at the replay, Kyle, and see if we can see exactly what happened. Going into turn number 1, and it appears...
Well, Akari got loose.
Yes, and as he did, Sammy tried to avoid the situation. Well, I hope we get another shot of this. There's the car coming down into turn number 1. Akari gets crossed up. Sammy tries to go by, but the 55 was already loose and coming up the racetrack, and the end result is they come together. Here's another look at it. There's Akari getting loose. He tries to correct. Sammy is there. She makes contact, and 2 cars have become severely damaged in this one. Another different perspective of it, those of you watching on Flow. And there you have it. Heartbreaker for 2 competitors who were running very strong. And there is a look at Sammy Anderson's car. Right front wheel peeled back, Kyle, and you can see also the rub rail on the right side of the car. Heartbreaker for her. And here is the Akari number 55. That car might have had a tire going down on the left rear, because we can see it on the hook and it has a flat left rear. We're not sure what came first, the chicken or the egg in that situation.
I'm not sure if there was that tire went down beforehand or after he got loose and made contact with Sammy, who had nowhere to go, trying to avoid that situation as the remainder of the field is already doubled up into their rows of 2. Will go green. Still with 4 laps to go in this heat race. Tyler Chapman and Paula Root to make up the front row. Dean Lambros will go to the inside of row number 2.
Let's see what's going to happen here. Tyler Chapman, Paula Root in the front row. Here they come. Green flag is out. Tyler Chapman looking racy, but Dean Lambros tries to make a bold move underneath Paula Root, and it pays off.
Here comes Meg Fuller, car number 2 now to the inside of Root for 3rd, just in front of Casey Vogt.
She's got a car that's running on rails to the inside, that Propane Plus machine. Now into 3rd. Paula Root takes him a lap or so to get her back up to speed, but once she is at speed, watch out. Car 82 is coming back to life.
A couple laps to go, 2 to go, this time by, in fact, for Tyler Chapman in car number 41. Lambros in 2nd, Fuller in 3rd.
Fuller is trying to make a patented move. She's got a car that works on the bottom, and Lambros running dead center where he needs to run in the racetrack. 1 lap to go.
Battle is best for 2nd between Lambros, Fuller, and Root. And Root losing a bit of ground here on this final circuit. In fact, they're all strung out among the top 5, well behind Tyler Chapman, who comes off of turn number 4 and takes the checkered flag here in this 2nd SK Light qualifying event over Dean Lambros in 2nd, Megan Fuller in 3rd, Paula Root in 4th, and Casey Vogt in 5th.
In the 6th spot is Norm Sears, car number 98. Karsten Cole will finish in 7th. Anthony Farino will finish in the 8th spot. Paula Corey 9th, and rounding out the 10-car field is Sammy Anderson with car number 21.
So 2 heats down, 2 to go. The 3rd will roll out onto the racetrack here in just a moment, and one of the winningest, in fact, the winningest driver in the division will lead the field to the green flag. Longtime competitor here in the SK Lights, car number 29 from right here in Stafford Springs. Vernon Chevrolet providing the sponsorship for Chris Matthews.
Outside of that front row will be the Norse Incorporated Wheelan Engineering car. Car number 09. Kenny Berry owns the car from Westbrook, Connecticut. Cassandra Cole.
Car number 76 will go to the inside of row number 2 from Ellington, Connecticut. The Constantine Paving and Sealing entry for Ron Midford Jr.
Roberts Painting brings us car number 32 out of Milford, Connecticut for Robert Bloxam III.
5th starter, car number 70 from East Longmeadow, Massachusetts. Mayberry Material Handling to bring us Wade Gagner.
Driving a Keith Rocco Renault race car, the Wicked Power Sports number 1 from Stafford Springs, Connecticut, Bob Charland.
7th starter, car number 15 from Colchester, Connecticut, McKinney Construction, providing the sponsorship for Amanda West.
And then we go to car number 3, the Midford Racing Company car from Ellington, Connecticut for Steve Midford.
Inside of the final row, car number 99 from Berlin, Connecticut, the Connecticut Collision Center entry for Mark Mysterio.
A-plus fire protection brings us car number 07. Jay Goff, who's a former competitor, owns the car, and Austin Goff sets behind the wheel from Stafford Springs.
Another one of those drivers moving up from the Wild Thing kart program here on Monday nights. Also can be seen live on FloRacing, or if a lot of great nights weather-wise, come on out and watch the future of the Friday night race program. A lot of, in fact, I feel like most of our Friday night drivers have come through the Monday night karts.
Wade Gagner put together a beautiful tribute car to Bob Polverari. It's located at the entrance where you purchased your tickets into the grandstand area. That 711 car was built by Wade Gagner as a retro car, and of course the good folks from Mayberry. And that car was driven by Bob Polverari at Riverside, and it was owned by my father during that one season.
Green is up. We are underway. Matthews and Cole to lead the field into turn number 1, and it'll be Chris Matthews getting the jump and getting the lead by the time they hit the back straightaway. Matthews, a 20-time winner here in the SK Lights, most of all time, looking to lead lap number 1 here in this qualifying heat race.
Third is the hot spot in this one. And right there, the challenge is the number 76 of Ron Midford. Midford can't muscle up enough. Robert blocks him. Setting there in the third spot. Midford took a peek to the inside, carrying the traditional Bulls colors. And here comes Bob Charland, Wicked Power Sports #1 car, trying to thread the needle and get to the front.
Singled out toward the front of the field, racing from 6th on back, getting tight. And that's where we find Steve Mitford and Wade Gagner, Amanda West, also Mark Nacirio, part of that battle for position. The back door is open, and one car gets shuffled way up the track. That's Mitford in car number 3. Will lose 3 positions as Gagner, West, and Nacirio all go by to the inside.
Down the back straightaway, leader of the pack, Chris Matthews. No surprises there. Halfway down and halfway to go. Already 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th are closing up the gap. Midford's tried just about everything to get around Robert Bloxham. Bloxham tries to shake him off. Deep into turn 3. Solid shot to the back bumper. Here comes Charland. Charland looks to go to the outside. Can't do it. He slips up the racetrack.
Charland, longtime competitor here at the racetrack as well. Car number 1 running in 5th. Wade Gagner hanging on to 6th. Amanda West looking inside and out to try to take that spot away in car number 15. The best race on the speedway right now. Halfway home in this qualifying. Make that 2 to go this time by. Shown from the starter stand with Matthews out front.
Bloxham continued to try to make his presence known with Cassandra Cole. Cassandra well aware of the fact that he is in striking distance. White flag is out. Final circuit. Any bold moves in this one, or will they settle in? Top 5 have pulled away. Midford trying to put some pressure on Bloxham. Deep into turn number 3. Bloxham still guards the spot. Here comes Charland. Off the turn. Down to the stripe. Chris Matthews will take down the win. Cassandra Cole to finish in 2nd. Robert Bloxham to finish in 3rd. Ron Midford to round out the top 4. And Bob Charland with a late event charge will finish in 5th.
Wade Gagner will cross the line in 6th, just holding off Amanda West in 7th. Mark Nacirio in 8th. Steve Mitford in 9th. And Austin Goff to round out our 10-car field.
Well, next it looks like we're moving on to our 4th qualifying event. Again, and this will be our 4th SK Light qualifier this afternoon. Good racing through all of the divisions so far, but we have a lot in store. The Napa Pit Party will be coming up following the conclusions of our qualifying. If there is consolation events, we'll be receiving that information and pass it along to you as well.
I think it sounds like everybody's going to start, so there will be no consolation events. All the SK Modifieds will start their feature, and all the SK Lights that are able to start will start their 20-lap main event here coming up in a bit as heat race number 3 rolls out onto the racetrack. Car number 14 scheduled to start, make this heat race number 4 on the racetrack. The 14 will be David Webb. That'll be the scheduled pole sitter here in this qualifying event.
Outside of that row, driving car number 42, it will be the Kalajanis Motorsports machine from New Hartford, Connecticut, Stephen Kalajanis, car 42.
Third starter, car number 12 to the inside of that second row from Putnam, Connecticut, the Wind Waste Innovations entry for Chris Vians.
Chikoski Racing brings us car number 45 from New Hartford, Connecticut, Ed Chikoski.
Car number 87 to the inside of the next row from East Hartford, Connecticut, Metro Garage Door to bring us Joey Farino.
Alkis Motorsports brings us car number 89 from Berlin, Connecticut. It is Tyler Alkis.
7 starter, car number 16 from Chaplin, Connecticut, the Busy Bee Learning Center car for Nicholas Hovey.
Car number 8 starts next, the Degatti Trucking Company machine from Wellington, Connecticut. It is Aiden Degatti.
Car number 71 to the inside of row number 5 from Reading, Connecticut, the LaPooch Racing entry for Pete LaPooch.
And keep your eyes on this scratch starter, the Anglace Racing Enterprises. Number 10. His dad, Vinny, owns the car from Seymour, Connecticut, Nick Anglace. that is your starting lineup. Another 10, making it 40 cars. That is on the racetrack as we head back off turn number 4. And quickly to the outside, but I don't think it was good.
It was not. Caution back out. Vians too big of a jump in that outside lane in car number 12. They'll re-rack them and try it again.
Vians builds his own cars, a fabricator by trade and considered very good at what he does, by the way. Galagianis in there on with that 42 on the inside. Here they come. Outside lane. Motors on down into turn number 1. And guess what? Car number 12 is going to get his wrist slap, and he is going to have to go to the rear of the field. Now, they are warned by the racing directors and the director of competition, Tommy Fox, along with Chris Cambato, and they are given a warning. He received that warning, and then he made the mistake of being a little bit too rambunctious in the second attempt. And Mike points the flag and sends him to the rear of the field. Not a very good way to start, Kyle, but we'll see what's going to happen here. He can easily work his magic and come back to the front of the field.
Mike Hellberg and Craig Merriman on the starter stand. Mike giving that signal a moment ago for the 12 of Chris Vians to drop to the rear. And that will happen now on the backstretch.
And he does. So that's going to move things up. And even though we have no laps in the record books, the penalty was called.
Napa Pit Party coming up. Get those autograph items ready. I saw a lot of the teams in the pit area with all of their candy. And I know Nicholas Hovey, who's on the racetrack now, has chocolate bars.
Oh, yes, and they've got hats in some cases.
T-shirts available,
yes,
and
all types of items.
All sorts of fun things. Get those trading card signs for those that have been collecting the 2024 Stafford Motor Speedway trading cards. And if you haven't started your collection yet, now's a good time. They're available at the novelty booth.
Still not too late for you to head on down there and get those cards and get them signed by the celebrities, the drivers themselves. And let's see, it looks like pace car pulls off. Here they come off turn number 4. And much better that time.
Kologianis will lead the field to turn number 1 in car number 42.
Ed Chikoski on the outside, Kyle.
Tightly bunched into 3. Chikoski topside, Kologianis to the bottom. Farina right there in 3rd, car number 87, getting a big shove from Nicholas Hovey up the front straightaway in car number 16.
Nicholas Hovey is a guy to keep your eyes on. Car number 16 settles into the 4th spot. Reels in on the back bumper of Joey Farino. Farino's got a car that works on the bottom. But Hovey keeps the momentum going to his advantage. Now does the crossover. And now, just as we called it, Nicholas Hovey has moved into 2nd. And look who's coming into 3rd.
That is Joey Farino in car number 87. Chikoski in car number 45 back to 4th, just in front of Tyler Alkis, who looks to his inside for that position. Off of turn number 2. Nicholas Hovey, though, knifing his way through the field from the 7th starting spot, has made his way up to 2nd. Chikoski falling off the pace, a little bobble in turn number 3. There was a couple of more spots, including to the number 10 of Nick Anglace, who goes to the inside, along with Chris Vians in the 12th.
Chris Vians has moved back from a scratch position to work his way into the top 5. Now, diving low to the inside of Farino, forces him up the track, and all of a sudden, Tyler Alkis moves in, takes over the 3rd spot. Vians follows him through, and here comes Nick Anglace with the number 10 car.
Here comes Nicholas Hovey on Kalogiannis for the lead. 2 laps to go, 0.4 of a second last time by. Cuts that in half, now 0.2 between the top two. Within striking distance is Nicholas Hovey from the back to the front in car 16, closing in on Stephen Kalogiannis in the 42.
Here they come. White flag is out. He has less than a half a mile to pull off what might, whoa! He literally gets the nose underneath, and Nicholas Hovey pulls off an amazing move to the bottom of turn number 1, back to turn 3, and Nicholas Hovey has showed his talent to take down the win. Stephen Kalogiannis will finish in second. Tyler Alkis, great run for third. Good comeback for Christopher Vians and Nick Anglaise to round out the top 5.
Joey Farino will finish in 6th, Ed Chikoski in 7th, Pete Lapouche 8th, and Aiden DeGata rounding out the 9 cars that were on the racetrack at the start of that qualifying event. Did not see the scheduled pole sitter of David Webb out on the racetrack, so he'll be a scratch, and if he can get it ready before the feature event, start at the back of the field. 40 SK Light Strong here, part of a great opening day of their 2024 season, day number 2 for the Napa Spring Sizzler weekend.
No question. We want to remind everybody that weekly racing begins here on Friday night, May 10th. That's right, the first Friday night program of the 2024 season is just around the corner. And racing action continues each and every Friday night. That's right, May 17th, May 24th, and May 31st. May 10th and May 17th will be regular Friday night programs with all 5 weekly divisions. May 24th will be the SK Light Double Down, the first of 2 40-lap feature events for the SK Light division. And on the 31st, AZ Roofing Kids Night will be part of the program, as the kids will be center stage for the kids' big wheel race. For more information, you can check on this on the web.
And don't forget, later this summer, Cletus McFarland comes to the Northeast for the first time here at the Stafford Motor Speedway for a special 2-day event, July 19th and 20th, the New England 900. We have no idea what to expect, but it's going to be a great 2 days. There's a new burnout pad in the infield, hard to see right now, but they're going to be using that. We'll be doing burnouts. I think we got Crown Vic Racing, all sorts of fun things, specialty vehicles. We have seen his show at other racetracks across the country, like Indianapolis Raceway Park and down in Florida.
And amazing, and it's a one-of-a-kind show that you don't want to miss. You can bring the family, bring everyone to come and see this, because it is going to be something exceptionally special.
Tickets are on sale, by the way, and they are going quick. So July 19th and 20th, Cletus comes to Stafford for the first time.
Sure does. And don't forget also, if you're a big fan of open modifieds, like the modifieds that are running in the greatest race in the history of spring, June 7th, the Casella Waste Open 80 will be on tap. This annual event is a big draw, and the Open Modifieds cars will feature your top and favorite drivers, whether they're weekly drivers here at Stafford who'll be doing double dipping, or drivers from the Wheel and Modified Tour, the ROC circuit in some cases, or the Monaco Ford Tri-Track Series. We also want to remind you that Monaco Ford provides us with the safety vehicles used here by our safety crew. They have 2 convenience stores to serve you better: Glastonbury, Connecticut, and Niantic, Connecticut. Mike, his sister, and Dave would love to have you stop by for special deals on new or used vehicles. Remember, the Monaco family is a racing family.
So a big thanks to all those that have watched our YouTube and Facebook live streams and all the heat race action that just took place over the course of the last hour or so. The rest of the program will be on FloRacing, as will all of our events here in 2024. The Napa Pit Party is coming up in just a few moments, as soon as all the race cars that just came off the racetrack are back safely in their pit stalls and everything is secure. Teams are ready to go. We'll open things up for you, the race fans, to head on down and meet your favorite drivers. A lot of the drivers that competed here yesterday in the late models, street stocks, and limited late models
They're here.
have also stuck around and are willing to meet the race fans. A lot of candy, almost like Halloween down there. When I was down there earlier, a lot of great snacks for the kids.
That's right. And, of course, those souvenir T-shirts and hats and a whole lot of other great things. We also want to address and invite you to watch the 1984 running of the greatest race in the history of spring, center stage here at Stafford, as we live and relive that day.
Industries' beautiful Sherry Cup machine, that chassis dynamics built race car. Meanwhile, things are starting to tense up a bit.
And a reminder before they go green, and here a younger Ben Dodge, by the way, from 1984. For those wanting to attend the pit party, you can see the line forming behind the grandstands. The turn 1 gate behind Section A will be the gate that will be used for the folks in the main grandstands to enter and exit the pit area. Again, the turn 1 gate behind Section A, and there's a lot of folks heading in that direction for the next hour or so for the Napa Pit Party.
That's right. You head straight down, then you go left and left on, or left or right there, and you will be able to enjoy yourself, and you've got plenty of time to do it. Let's get back to the 1984 Spring Sizzler.
NASCAR Winston modified competitors. 2x2, evenly matched like poetry. They come down to the line. The green flag is out, headed for turn 1. It looks like Spencer's got it on the high side.
Jimmy Spencer runs in deep into turn number 1, but Gregor's not about to give anything up. They're side by side off the second turn. Spencer gets the bite. He makes a move on the outside and takes over the lead. Marty Radwick also making a move up on the outside of car number 36. Unable to do so, he drops back in. We're about to complete the very first lap with Jimmy Spencer in the lead.
Jimmy Spencer picks up $25 from Fine Line Speed and Fabrication. Stan Gregor runs in second. Third spot's Marty Radwick. Fourth is the number 14 of Tony Siscone. And moving to the outside like gangbusters is Carl Bugsy Stevens. Stevens is on the move on the outside of the Miller Time machine. Keep your eyes on Stevens. He is getting hooked up on the high side here in the early goings in this Sizzler event.
Remember, Bug Stevens set second fast time yesterday, and he is within striking distance of the leaders as Jerzambek gets up into the marbles in turn 1 and drops back 5 positions in the Ruland Electric number 5. Jimmy Spencer continues to set the pace off of turn 4.
Into the back of the pack, you see that Richie Evans and Bob Povereri has their hands full as they're trying to head to the front in the early going. 3 laps are showing in the Winston Racing Series scoreboard. Here comes Carl Bugsy Stevens. We told you that car could hooch up on the outside, but just as we said that, he moved to the inside. Stevens is running on rails. That beautiful Bob Garbarino Mystic Missile is really dialed in, but here comes the Miller Time Machine.
Up on the outside of Stevens, it was Ruggiero for just a few moments, but he's not about to give up anything as he pulls up alongside through turns 1 and 2. Stevens able to edge ahead just a little bit down the backstretch now. They're single file from one end of the speedway to the next. Car number 24, Jim Spencer, leads the pack off the 4th turn. Will cross the stripe, lap number 5 for Big Day's novelty booth. $25 once again for Spencer.
As they head into turn number 2, Jimmy and Spencer, Mr. Excitement, has led the first 5 circuits. He's picked up some bonus money and lap sponsorship money. Stan Greger currently sets in 2nd. Marty Radwick knocks on his back door. 3rd is